to own one of these companies and run one, and then also go camp, do all the content trips, make sure that you're out there and visible and doing all that stuff.
The more you're hearing about how much plastic you're getting into your system and all of that stuff, and so we're going with like the
Stainless
steel and the glass on the top.
There's a few things that are out of our control that you guys will all, as we probably do this podcast longer, you guys will realize there's just some things that we can't control. And hub tents were supposed to be here, and they're stuck in customs.
All right, well, we're back for the third episode. I think we're just going to kind of shoot the shit today. We don't really have anything planned necessarily. We got some good comments again at the end. But you had a good conversation with Will, it sounds like, and I was out of town. I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah, no, we had a really good conversation. Will from Sherpa, and you guys got a chance to go up there and see their shop today and spend a little time with them. And obviously,
cool
a great dude.
Yeah, they're getting big.
Yeah,
and they got plans to expand their place and stuff like that. And he was giving us a little bit. He's like, your guys' place is so nice, but like it. I mean, they're making every single component of their deal.
They figured that part of it out, and now they're just continuing kind of to grow and got a good team up there. And I think we had a really good conversation, probably more about overlanding in general, what's kind of the future, and then getting into all these other fly fishing, hunting, mountain biking. How do we get better at, it's not just all overlanding, it's an avenue. So I thought we had a really good conversation, and I think that he'll definitely be back on, because I think that we could probably talk to Will for 2+ hours, and I'm sure everybody would love to hear his thoughts. So he'll probably be back on.
It was his first pod, wasn't it?
Yeah,
your second. But
it was my second one. So, no, we cruised through it. We had a good time. We had a great conversation. And, he was like, I want to do it again. And then they want to get theirs going here quick. So
I know. They showed Ryan and I that whole setup. And he's like, this is where the pod's going to go. And they've got like some soundproofing going up and stuff, which I thought was cool. I mean, more people in the industry need to do it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a
backstory.
A benefit if more do it. But I mean, we're gonna have a bunch of people on here and keep trying to have unique people that bring something to the podcast that's maybe different than what everybody thinks maybe we're always going to talk about. And I think that's going to be one of the really cool things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all going to be based around camping, right? That's pretty clear. But I think we've got a bunch of people lined up that are like, some doctors and some stuff like that, of like why this is good for you to go out, and do, be outside, whatever you're doing. But I think it's interesting that you guys talked about, like, I always think about this, like the what you're going out to do, and you may be overlanding, big quotes, but like you're going out to rock climb or boulder, or you're going out to hike, or you're a trail runner or whatever, or hunter, and it's like, it seems like everybody got lumped into this overlanding thing, but it's like, that's not really, I don't know if at my core, like, that's what I am, but it's like, I go do overlanding, but I go do it for a reason. Yeah.
I think Will used a really good terminology yesterday that was, I want to say sustained vehicle camping or something. Is that right, Ryan? Was it sustained vehicle camping? Sustained vehicle living. Yeah, he has a good little ringer of a term for that. But it's my opinion on it is that overlanding started out as vehicle camping, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's turned into overland is more expedition focused. Like when you go to the Overland Expo, if you leave the show, you literally could live out of your vehicle, or you can go buy $1 million house on wheels to go survive off grid. So I feel like it's moved more expedition focused, where you're going to a week, you're driving from Colorado to Alaska, like what Talon's doing right now. Like, that's expedition travel, vacations in a sense, where you're going off the grid for a week. I think most of us, and I think a lot of Coloradoans, they're like, hey, it's hard to get together on the weekends with anyone here. Right. That's because everybody's jumping to the mountains for 2 nights.
Yeah.
And they're just in and out, and so that's not as much overlanding. That's getting back to vehicle camping, and I think that's what we're talking about, less expedition.
Right, which, I mean, yeah, because not everybody can go to Alaska for like a month. I mean, yeah, it'd be great if
Thanks,
we could.
Dylan, for going.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting to me because it always goes, you know, I guess whenever you think about it, the word implies that you're doing that kind of expedition stuff, but that's not what we're seeing from our customers. They're like, I just want to go hang out with my family, get everybody away from cell coverage, and like go hang out and have good family time, which...
Well, I think that, I mean, I don't want to segue, but like that's more like marketing, what people see, right? There's stuff that people want to see, and it's hard to go shoot something at a soccer game. Or, you know, Will and I talked about that yesterday, like sporting events and using this stuff. It's such an outlier in a sense, but it's so normal that it's hard for us to portray that image. So you may see more overlanding. You know, we're in these iconic spots, like places that you guys can go, and you know, we're taking pictures there because that's part of the allure is going to some of these places. But you can get there in a stock car. I mean, anywhere, pretty much anywhere we go, except for like if you get stuck in the snow, you can get there in a pretty stock car.
Right. Well, I think that's also what Talon's showing on his new rig is like you don't need everything under the sun to go out and have a good time, but that's where most people fall in. And I think, we cast this vision in marketing of like this epic, amazing thing, scene or whatever, but you know, that's because we're marketing, and you can go find those scenes for sure, and you can get there, and it's not a big deal. But it's like there's also this side of, you think about like our hub tents and stuff like that, with taking it to a kid's soccer game, like you know, place for your, you know, get lunch and hang out, get away from the shade. It's like there's so many more use cases. Or like our aunt and uncle Debbie and Mark, they'll go to a concert and like pitch the tent, and or Debbie and Willie, our other aunt and uncle, have they're big into softball, and they'll take it out to softball tournaments. Like that's the only reason they wanted a rooftop tent. They're not overlanders.
Well, but we also, like, just so everybody knows, we kind of design or think about this full scope from like a hub tent. Like, is it going to have some limitations as a pure camping tent? 100%. But it's also going to facilitate some fun and shade at a beach, or you know, at your kid's soccer game, or somewhere where you guys have snacks. I mean, like, when you really look at them, or you know what we're trying to do is we're trying to cover cast a large net that it works for a lot of different people in a lot of scenarios.
Right.
Camping's part of the hub tent. The hub tent, I cook in mine. I don't sleep in mine. I sleep upstairs.
Well, right.
You know what I mean? So it's like I take it out as a secondary shelter. But if I'm going to a tailgate at a Nebraska football game and it's snowing, we may be in the hub tent.
You're bringing the hub tent for sure. Yeah, I think, well, most of the time when we go, I mean, and we're lucky, obviously we have rooftop tents and all that, but yeah, we're always camping, hanging, playing music. That's like the gather spot, you know, and all of that. But, well, I guess, random segue, but can I have one of those Zins?
Yep.
Little 6 mealy gun killy?
The rewards, I just found out about the rewards, and I'm a bad Zin user. I am now ordering direct, and I am collecting rewards because I found out yesterday over the last 2 years I probably could have got a couple Traeger grills for the amount of those things that I run through. So little rewards on the Zin cans it's we'll see how long I can keep it going. Maybe we'll get a new Traeger grill for the office and
there we go,
grill out.
Man. Well, what else did we want to go down?
Well, I think we wanted to talk a little bit more about who we were, maybe who our family is, explain more.
Yeah.
Just, I think we talked about it for a brief moment there on the first podcast, and this is a family ordeal.
Right.
You know, mom, everybody calls her mom, or Renee, is kind of on our operations team. She leads that team and makes sure that we've got product. She does a whole host of different things and does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but you'll see her at events and you'll see her in Colorado and
even like Keith calls her mom.
Yep.
It's like I need one of those hard-nosed, ladies in my
corner.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's around a lot. She just got a new puppy, and a new one to add to the website. And
Mac.
Yeah, we got Mac or Mackenzie, little red lab coming to the Free Spirit family. So
funny thing. So Mom didn't know this, but Holly, our accountant, that's what her daughter's name is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I was like, all right, perfect. Well, you'll never forget my dog's name, and I'll never forget your daughter's name.
Right.
Like, great.
So she's excited about that, I think, and so she's got a little puppy running around. I was on the phone with her this morning. It bit her toe, and she screamed. And
dude, it's like an English lab or whatever is so chunky.
Yeah,
it's so chunky.
When they're fat and slow, they're fun.
I know, but I think they'll be more chill. But I think she needed to get a dog, and like Dad knew it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I think we're gonna end up getting one. Yeah. He's like trying to hold out, and he's like, no, you gotta. Your wife is a dog lady.
Yeah, he's the one that's saying no the whole time, and then it's his idea to get one for her. And it's
I think we should do this breeder.
Yeah. We're a dog family. We've always had dogs. I've got 3 Bernese Mountain Dogs. You got 2 English Bulldogs. Christine's got 2 American Bulldogs, and now Mom's got the lab puppy again. So she's had Black, which was Mia. She was on our website. Morgan was our white lab when we were growing up.
Now a red one.
And now we got a red one, so we're trying all the different colors. She wants to see if the personalities are different.
Well, speaking of dogs, my story that happened to me like last week with Swish we had a bird come into the living room.
And but it's worth telling.
Yeah, well, this dog. So I'm downstairs, I'm on meetings, and I hear commotion upstairs, and I'm like, what is this dog doing? He's a psycho. He's like always getting into trouble. My other one just sleeps all day.
Yeah, you have polar opposites.
Yeah, polar opposites. And I get off the call and I go up there and he's scratching at the pantry, and I'm like ready to kill him because I'm like, the pain's like coming off, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Nothing is in there. It's a pantry, dude. Like, are you kidding me? I open this thing and this bird flies out of there, and he is losing his mind. The bird's flying around my house. I'm like trying to open doors. And I mean, sad to say, but this bird flew right into our window instead of out the door, and this dog pounced on it so hard and just grabbed it and shook this thing, and I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, drop it. No, get outside. Actually, what? Like, I go look at this bird. I'm like, there's no coming back from that, man. Sorry.
No coming back from that underbite.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
My dog's got the biggest underbite. He can shovel food in his mouth when he just looks at you.
Oh my God. It's actually, if I was being honest, it probably should have done some dental work early because he can barely he scoops food from his bottom lip into his mouth. It is insane.
It's the Bulldogs, but yeah, it's a big dog family. We all got them. We all love them. They're our kids and kind of what they are to me. So we've got a full dog crew, and employees bring their dogs here. We've got Nora that's always in the office, which is Ryan's, the marketing director's dog, and then Josh has got his hunting dog in here this week with a German short hair.
It chatters its teeth when you look at it.
Yeah,
he gets so excited.
He keeps trying to settle it down, and I just said, you got the wrong breed if you wanted him to settle down. He ain't settling down. We grew up with those dogs. So
I was telling Ryan, so my buddy had one of those, whatever they're called, and this dog was nuts for years and years and years. And I don't know, this was when we were in college, he got this dog. And this dog every Friday, Saturday would get a bowl full of beer. And this dog would just lap it down. I mean, he loved it. And that chilled him out a little bit.
Pass out and fart the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Christine's also got 2 American Bulldogs,
big dogs.
But Christine does all of our dealer sales, so she's the lady that all of our dealers call and
works with General Motors,
GM and stuff,
handles some of the bigger accounts that more corporate accounts that we deal with, there's a lot of corporate behind the scenes stuff that happens, and she handles
organization
a lot of
that we're not
great at.
So, yeah. But
what about you? Tell us about you, I guess, a little more.
Well, I don't even know. Where do you start? How far you want to go back? Because
I mean, not too far, but like, why are you in this? What do you do here? Like, what's kind of your stamp on, we kind of all have our thing, but maybe tell the people what you do and
I guess
why you do it.
When I got first into Free Spirit, I guess in general was when we had our Bend place and all that stuff, and I was doing anything and everything to learn, I guess. I don't know. And I was doing shipping, and when I could be out there, I was, trying to learn the marketing stuff, trying to learn sales, all of that, which quickly learned I'm not like a born salesman by any means. But yeah, I mean, I think my strengths, I gravitated towards marketing and really, made it easy for me to learn. And I semi kind of got a pick because we just had an agency that we worked with at the time. So, which was great. But then, as I started to learn more and be like, I want to do this, then we started to add to the marketing team and kind of bring it more in house. And so that's kind of where my passion is in the marketing side of this whole thing, and the finances. And sorry about this that's on me. But I think that's where I suppose impact the business the most and have, kind of my say and stuff. Obviously you've got your, we talk all the time about marketing and all that stuff, but.
Well, they kind of go hand in hand of you and I are kind of yin and yang in that sense where just as like in our family, you've always been the visual one, the artistic one in a sense to like visually see things, and so like a lot of the aesthetic and the design side of just like where Free Spirit has now come to, from like the old purple logo, the purple eagle logo, to where we are now, it's kind of a reflection of your kind of fingerprints all over it with your team, and it's changed a lot and been really good. Hopefully
they don't like it. Yeah. But and it was your idea to give away a fucking car. So
it was.
Did that a couple of years ago. That's not my.
I'm like the extreme one. Like I'm all in or I'm all out.
Right.
And I thought that was going to be a fun one. It actually was fun. I mean, I watched that video back and saw giving away a car to that guy, and
that was
kind of cool.
That was cool. I mean, I hope he's not listening to this, but that whole rack thing that we did was awesome, but nightmare to drive.
Yeah.
But it was sick. I
mean,
it's
kind of one of
those first
for marketing things.
Right.
You see a SEMA truck, and it's like, did they trailer it there, or did like it drive there?
Yeah. On like the 40-inch tires that are like 2 inches thick with monster rims and a lift kit that's
you can
as
walk
tall
under.
As you. Yeah. That's insanity.
I thought that was fun, but from a marketing side, like it's a continual learning. Like you've kind of completely, when our entrepreneurial journey kind of started all the way back to Elevated Tents, like that was our music festival business. For anybody that doesn't know, that's where we started our kind of entrepreneurial side. And you were more in the marketing, you were in the product, the design of the product and stuff like that, and I was more calling accounts, doing the sales, kind of feeding that beast a little bit. But
I mean, you've had a large sales background in med sales and all that stuff, and you can sell ice to an Eskimo, so it did make sense. But I guess we can go into you.
Yeah, we can talk about me. I'm happy to talk. And
I mean, I guess because you were a little like a year late to the game because you were doing your
construction company,
and then you came over, and I don't know, we could start there.
When I joined Free Spirit, it was about the time just before we were moving to Denver. So I had been here in Denver. This is kind of as a child grew up doing all this stuff, right? But the mountains were a new thing for me. So getting out here and being in them all the time, that's where we made our friend group. We were camping with people just like everybody that's listening probably does. You know, you meet people that way. And so I wanted to kind of get back to that after doing some construction stuff, and had started my own company and was doing that and doing well. But there was just kind of this urge to get back to the outdoors. Yeah. So I came on board, I don't know how many years ago it is now, but doing product stuff mainly, and then helping our sales team and get more comfortable, be out there more, as we're kind of the faces of it, and we're kind of running the shop here. But I love people. I love talking to customers. I like talking to our ambassadors. So I spend a lot of time doing that stuff here at Free Spirit. And
you're a connection builder guy. Like you're fast friend, easy, that type of person. I think what's interesting now, and not to jump ship on that, but like how much more we're getting. Like in the beginning, it was like heads down, grind, do. And I don't think either of us went camping for a long time. And it was just trying to right the ship, right? And, and now we're getting to do a little bit more of this fun stuff with the team that we're lucky enough to have and built and stuff like that. It's kind of nice.
I think the trips are fun. I mean, we do a lot of different stuff here. Like we all wear a lot of different hats. I mean, we had a couple meetings about it this morning, and just I guess so everybody knows, like to own one of these companies and run one, and then also go camp, do all the content trips, make sure that you're out there and visible and doing all that stuff requires a lot. And our staff goes out with us. We have a multitude of different cars to shoot, and so everybody here wears a ton of hats. So it's fun to get everybody out in Moab and see them cut loose as a person a little bit and want to do more.
I've been saying it for 3 years that I've wanted to go to Moab. I've never been. That was my first time in Moab. Yeah. Like just we couldn't find the time, or it'd be better to shoot at a different location because of XYZ. And for anybody that hasn't gone, it's insanely cool.
Let me preface, it's insanely cool if you don't, you can take a camera, but if it's all about a photo shoot, photo shoots are not fun. So anybody that does it for a living, kudos to you guys. It is work all the time to get this stuff. And it's, you get to relax just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Well, I mean, with the first night that we went, we got in and God, I can't even remember. Well, I don't know. I know we got 4 hours of sleep, maybe the first night, maybe. And getting up at the, before sunrise, getting everything set up, get all the shots. Yeah. Cause it was Sam and Josh's first one. I'm like, hey, so this isn't going to be that much fun, but hopefully you get
these are the longest days you're going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it was cool. And Will came out and hung out for a bit, and we had the Can-Am, which was fun. And I'd like to
get one of those.
Get one?
Those things are so fun. That is like a rush that is just it's a part of the thing. Insane. What do you do when you go out there? It's the perfect deal of you may go out there to rip around on these things and you just don't want to come home. You want to stay out there. Yeah. Cool. That's an avenue. Doing all of the motorsports is huge. There's a ton of it. It's all avenue for those people to stay out there.
Well, they got a perfect little setup, perfect little town. You can just drive them anywhere you want. Right. And, go in town, drive them. And that's one that I would love to get and see a rooftop tent on. I don't know. We might need to talk to Will about, doing a custom rack or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We probably need to take a little bit of a break here. I'm drinking 2 glasses of water, and I know we're only about 30 minutes in, but
all right, let's pause.
Need a break.
Cool. Well, we're back, and we were just chatting about, trips and different stuff. Obviously, we were just wrapped up kind of talking about Moab a little bit, and we've got some stuff on the horizon of some trips that maybe they're not they're not vacations again, but they're trips, they're places. So I know we got Jackson.
Yeah, we'll be up in Jackson Hole. Why can't I think of the name of the brewery that we're going to be out up there? June 22nd, I think, is that. That's with Nomad Outfitters. We were just up in Frisco and did that. So we'll probably do some content there around Jackson and maybe bring the team up so you guys can meet more of them.
Well, what are they doing there? Because I didn't go to that last one.
Yeah, so we're just meeting up at breweries and doing kind of like our own little rally, getting out in front of the community. I mean, with the events, they are extremely expensive to attend, to do all that different stuff with the events. So we're kind of trying to find those different avenues to hang out with the people, and breweries are a cool place.
Yeah, I mean, you walk up and talk to us and not have 50 people behind you and all of that stuff like at the expos, but
more
that'd
intimate.
Be cool. Drink craft beer that I don't like, and
I'm drinking a High Noon because the last weekend they were trying to get me to drink, and I'm not a craft beer drinker either. I'm like, give me a Coors Light or I'm good.
Right.
I don't know why it gives me headaches. I just can't do it. It all gives me headaches. So
we're getting older.
Coors Light.
Yeah.
And we're in Golden, so it's like I feel like a traitor if I don't drink Coors
Right.
Light. It's brewed in my own town.
Have to. Right.
It's kind of I like Banquet. It's pretty good.
No, thank you. But
hockey game beers. That's what I like.
You know what the problem with and this is maybe overshare, but every time I go to an Avs game,
we lose.
I get one of those. Well, that too. Actually, that's a fact. I know I get one of those big tall boy Coors Lights, and I'm just sitting there burping the whole time, and I'm like looking around, like, is anybody smelling this? I feel bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, somebody give me. I just need to get mixed drinks from now on. But anyway, so
mixed drinks will cost you $28 instead of $19 for 2 beers. But
what's the difference, really?
On to next season. We'll get there next year, boys.
Yeah, God, that was rough. I don't even want to talk about it. You were pissed at the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty
was that 3?
Pro hockey is the one thing that we grew up in Nebraska, so like it was Nebraska football, like maybe the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe the Broncos. Like our grandpa was a diehard Broncos fan, lived in Parker. Right. But we didn't grow up a lot around pro sports. But man, hockey, like you played hockey growing up. We had a neighbor that froze an area and we played ice hockey, and then we had a Quonset where we played hockey in the summer, and we played a lot of hockey growing up.
We did play a lot of hockey.
We dropped the gloves a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Jock Jams? The CDs that we used to play, and it was like, are you ready to rumble?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Like, we had the setup. It was pretty legit.
And we had the uncle to stitch us up.
Yep. Yeah. And then he was the team doctor for one of the hockey teams, and so we used to go to games. I don't know. It's in my, I didn't play, but just played for fun, never competitively, but man, I get pissed at the games. Like I know it well enough now that I know when they're playing hard and when they're just like taking a night off.
Well, I mean, honestly, for me, outside of fighting, it's the only sport that I watch.
Yeah. You're a big UFC. Well, you fought, so.
Yeah. Well, so that's why I like that. But I never, if you ask me to watch a football game, not going to watch any of it.
Yeah.
You ask me to watch a baseball game, I will literally slam the door in your face and hang up on you. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that guy.
Just not your thing. We have cousins that played pro baseball. We all grew up playing baseball, but it's like weird when you get older.
It's so boring.
Yeah,
but what's weird is I've never liked, I don't think that the team sport thing, well, I mean, for the both of us, never really was like, we never really gravitated towards that or played competitively with it. But I always had a problem with Nebraska football because I'd be like, I'm watching like children play a game and people are losing their minds over it. But like I can get behind the Avs because it's like, these are professionals, I can yell
they're
at them.
They're adult kids.
Well, they are. Yeah, they're like, there's some like 20, 22-year-old. Like, that's insane.
They're very young. And we grew up in a college town. I mean, that's where we grew up, and like going to the College World Series when we were kids in Omaha. Shout out to all of our baseball parents. If you haven't taken your kids to the College World Series, you have to. It's awesome.
It's hot and humid, but it's
But
Legit.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Go
Yeah.
chase your team. It's a blast.
Right.
But
Well, back to the trip thing.
Yeah.
We've got, what else do we have going?
so we got Jackson, and then we've got another one down in Telluride, which I believe is the end of July. And then we've got obviously Overland Expo here in Loveland, Colorado, which will title sponsor that again and have a big booth and
Yeah.
a big display of tents. The hard part about Expo is like we can't display all of our products. It's very hard to display everything. So you'll see a tent spectacle and maybe one of the hub tents and awning B2 should be out by then, and
Yeah.
a lot of our products. So that's kind of our big show off event, really. I mean,
Yeah, well, we have
hopefully
to.
some new
It's in the backyard.
products and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, expos they're always interesting because like I feel like for the consumer, it's like overload. Well, I mean, it can be for us too. Like you're like all the new stuff that's coming out, but it can be just, it's an ungodly amount of stuff to absorb.
And it's moving so fast. I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's new vendors at every single one. There's new products. Like, there are some dudes and people out there that are just making some crazy cool stuff. Like, this whole vehicle accessory thing has just went bananas. And you can find anything that you want.
Yeah.
Literally anything you want. The one mistake, and I'm just kind of talking out loud here, but like, when I was at the expo, and like I love going to the expos because I love talking to all the people. Like I love hearing from everybody, seeing all my buddies that are in the industry and catching up with them.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of times there's so many choices that they're making choices based off of the wrong things. And I think one of the biggest things that I see is size and weight. Like if you're shopping for the perfect fit, you might lose on some other things because all the rooftop tent companies, they don't all make the exact same size.
Right.
Some put gas struts inside, some put outside. That changes the interior space. So
Well, and you're also trying as a rooftop tent company or any company in general, trying to make something that is, from a production standpoint, you're trying to make something that kind of fits in the middle of just about everything.
yeah,
Like,
it'd be
it
great
will
to
work,
it'd be great to have Elon on sometime and ask him like, hey, could you make a universal car for everyone?
Right.
Maybe be like, no, it's not possible.
No.
I just realized Cybertruck.
Yeah, which we could be getting.
Yeah, we may get a base camp truck. I've had it on order for 2 years, so
It'll be
here for a minute.
here for a minute. We'll see what we think of it.
But if you want to buy it,
Yeah, hit us
let
up.
us know. The vehicle stuff has gotten wild, man. It's like one of our old employees went and worked for Earth Roamer, and just seeing those things in person is
That's
just
crazy.
like, you think like driving a Class A tour bus is like something that's intimidating, renting off outdoorsy.
Dude.
Those things are massive. Cool as shit, but
And they're
like,
they're really tall. I always would think like I'm gonna drive under a bridge and it's my $500,000 investment is gonna be gone.
yeah, people are worried
You
about
know.
scratching the top of their rooftop tent, and then you put something up there that's like
Right.
12, 13, 14 feet tall, it seems.
I've never met anybody that's actually bought one of those. I would love to, and I know that they've got a good thing going because they've been
Awesome,
around
yeah.
for a long time. So I know people are, but it's like who?
Dude, when I talked to Ben, all over the map. So
Like
anybody,
United States map or world map?
world, but I'm saying demographics.
It's like Saudi princes buying them and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some of that, but you also have like people that are looking at alternative housing measures, and it's
Right.
it's not one size fits all. So like that's more like expedition or living out there.
Yeah.
You know, I can't
Yeah.
imagine pulling that in my garage and be like, hey, let's go out for the weekend. It's
No. Yeah.
but to each their own, right? That's how vastly
Yeah.
different the industry is. So
well, those things are super capable.
super cool.
But
But overload for sure. At expos, it is
Yeah.
like I've seen literally everything in 1 square mile, and now I've got to go digest all of it.
yeah. I think a lot of people, I mean, if they're looking for something there, it's like it can be like almost, I don't know, analysis paralysis kind of a thing where you're just like, there's so much, I don't know what you know, to go with. But
I think a lot
they're
of it's coming down to now who you're buying from. Like we're doing this podcast because we want you guys to know who we are.
Right.
Behind the scenes, a little bit of the company, everything that it takes to get all this stuff done and provide a great product in the vehicle outdoor space as a small company. Like we're competing against, think General Motors, like they're massive.
Right.
And, you know, they have different things that we don't as a small business.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother world of figuring it out, but it's entertaining. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it is. Well, I don't know if we want to start the comments thing again or we want to go through. Actually, you know what?
We should talk about vacation. It's summer vacation.
Yeah, because it's June now, which is insanity.
Nuts.
So all the parents have their
kids are out of school,
munchkins out, and
ready for sports. And I think there's like our Christine, our sister, Noah's playing baseball and Caleb's playing baseball, and it's like
Emma's
it's baseball
playing
season
softball now,
yeah,
and volleyball, and
so we better get some photography out of some baseball games, I guess. But no, it's sports season and it's shade season as well.
Right.
The hub tents, there's a few things that are out of our control that you guys will all, as we probably do this podcast longer, you guys will realize there's just some things that we can't control. And hub tents were supposed to be here, and they're stuck in customs. And every once in a while, containers get snagged and they sit in a lot, and we literally can't do anything.
Yeah,
we are just as upset as everybody else, but it happens, and it's happening to us right now. Right. So it's sports season. I think hub tents are going to do great for people. The way we have them designed is the full gazebo screen house with the walls if you get in a bad situation.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you think about, like, I think that's the best move that we've made with the hubs, and obviously the new door with the newest version. But like, it is so nice to be able to just roll up the doors and you get airflow through, and it's like the ultimate chill, relaxed tent. Yeah, that you can take anywhere. But I also think that, like we talked about earlier, you get so buried in like the day to day, like your life, and it's summer and the kids are, they got baseball and they've got this and that and the other, and you're like running around still, and it's like you still need that vacation time. And for sure, if I could tell anybody, it'd be like, take a hard pass on Disneyland.
Yep.
And go camping with your kids, because you mentioned this to me about what you guys kind of chatted about on the last podcast, which was, what are your memories from camping? And it's like, I have distinct memories from Quetico.
Dude, I remember freezing my ass off making popcorn for the first time in Canada. Right. Outside, like I don't know how old I was. 8?
I wouldn't have remembered then.
Well, I mean, I've been on multiple. We've been on several together. But, I mean, I remember, as crazy it is, I remember like my dad when we would drive up to go to deer camp when I was a little kid. I'm the diehard hunter, and it's like, that's
Pete's
what
Ranch.
Pete's Ranch.
Where you learned how to drive.
That's where I learned how to drive. My dad would literally, I probably was 10. And once we hit the sand roads, because we were up in the sand hills, he turned over and was like, "Dude, your turn." He brought me up on the seat, read the journal while we were driving, and I'm like sitting up there like a little kid trying to figure out how to drive. But we drove golf carts as kids and 4-wheelers and all sorts of different stuff. So we were always outside. And
I remember those portaging trips. They're like really specific memory is I remember carrying that little blue, because I wanted to carry my own pack, and I was probably like 8 maybe, I don't know, and Dad got me that little blue pack, and then I remember Mom rolling her ankle, like gnarly rolling her ankle when we were portaging across, and I was like, oh God, here we go. And then I remember being freezing cold in the tent, and but those are, I think that people lose, like, Disneyland sounds cool and all of that stuff, but really, like, if you want to create lasting memories, I don't even know if we ever went to Disneyland as a kid. We might have. I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember like what you see people remember it on TV, but like we also weren't like the Disney kids. Like we were like outside playing roller hockey, like what we were talking about earlier. Like we were active outside kids. So like, I think more than ever now it's true, right? They're never going to remember what they saw or what they watched on their iPad or whatever. It's like, it's the parents, and not trying to call them out. I don't have any kids. Yeah. But I feel bad when my dogs don't get to go to the mountains, you know, like, so it's like, those experiences still mean something to me as an adult, right? Going just out there with my wife and having just a night away from our house. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to do that. I promise your kids will remember it forever, because it's like what we remember. I mean, Megan and I, my wife, she used to come to Colorado, and they had a cabin up in Estes Park, and like she hadn't been there in 15, 18 years when we moved to Colorado. Like it had been since she was a young child. Right. We literally found that place on Google Maps without an address. And we literally, she's like, I think that's the place. And dude, we drove up all the way to Estes Park. We were trying to figure out where we were going. And we found her childhood cabin by memory, not that's like crazy. She's like, oh, I think this is when she's sub 10 years old. So if like, you remember, right? We remember the horses' names from our Banff trip. Tonto, yeah.
We got stung by the bee, right? That was yours?
The bee took off. Like, holy hell.
That was an awesome trip.
So you will remember it, and I think that's, I would say at the core, like if we were to answer a question, if anybody asks us why we're in it, why are we in this whole business, like I would say one fundamental thing, it's that.
Yeah, roots back to the
being a little
fond
kid.
Memories that we had. You know, as cheesy as it is.
We want to help you guys, if you've never done it before, go experience, like, I don't know, what do they say, flip the cycle.
Right.
If you didn't have great parents growing up, like flip the cycle. This is one of those things that like I feel like we had great parents, and it's like they showed us a bunch of different stuff. We got to experience a lot of different things, and this is one of those cheap ones. This isn't like taking your kid to Vegas or to California or to Costa Rica or Hawaii. This is like, dude, your kids have fun camping in the backyard. Dude, we used to set up tents in the backyard all the time. Like, I'm sleeping outside tonight. You know, just dumb shit like that, but they remember it.
Yeah, for some reason it like ingrains in your head, and I think like when I think back on some of those trips, they're just like I can pick it out so easily, and to do something better than maybe what your parents, like you said, we're lucky. We had a lot of cool experiences in the outdoors, but like with Christine or her kids, like they are busy and doing all that, but it's like, are they going to remember the baseball game, or can you miss one?
We played 60 to 80 baseball games this summer when we were little kids playing select traveling baseball. And I was like, dude, we miss tournaments to go camping. Oh, for sure. We miss tournaments to go on family reunions. Trust me, if the Rebels lose, it's all good. You know, like life goes on. Like even if Nebraska loses a football game. 10. Yeah, you're 10 years old, you know. So,
it's not going to make or break your career in baseball. But I think
one of the cool things, not to like segue again, but like who we're going to have on here, like one of the most exciting things that like I'm pumped about is why do we remember all that stuff? Like, and why do we remember it so vividly? And so one of my really good friends, one of your friends, Havendale, who's from Omaha as well, we met her out here in Colorado. She does, I'm going to sound like an idiot, but she does neuropathic work where she understands the brain really well. So she's going to come on, she's going to practice here in Denver, and we're going to talk about like what happens to you when you go out there. Right. Like, Havlin, what's the deal about these vivid, like, how do we remember this stuff? I think it's going to be wildly entertaining. Oh, yeah. She's brilliant. She's a lot of fun. She cares about people.
Super smart, super cool. Yeah. That's going to be a fun one, because I've never had the opportunity to talk to her, like, in depth about any of that stuff.
I mean, she can bring my brain scan, and you guys can see what the hell's going on inside my brain, but it's like a whole bunch of different colors, and it's like...
It'd be cool to do one where it's like if you're sitting at your desk versus out in nature, like what the difference is and what it looks like. That would be a cool one. But she does a bunch of work with like
military
PTSD,
vets,
stuff like that. And, you know, being outside, going camping. I know we've talked to her about doing something with her with taking vets out and stuff, which both you and I are very, loyal supporters of.
Yeah, and we're going to have those guys on too, and some of our SF friends and military buddies. I know, like Ryan, one of our buddies, Spencer, Pup Runner, wants to come on. Ryan would be an interesting conversation because we talk about insurance. Because this is what he does. We can talk about what happened to him and all that different stuff, but it's like he's our business insurance guy, and he helps us insure our products and make sure that all that goes well. But the awesome dude, right? We can have a lot of people on here. I think we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, like, what do you guys want to hear? Who do you want us to have on? We know a lot of people. We know a lot of people that know a lot of people. So I'm sure we can reach out if there's, leave it in the comments. If there's things you want us to talk about, people you want us to talk to, we'll do our best. But
we've got trailer companies lined up, a lot of Colorado companies.
Yeah,
ambassadors, some influencers.
Leitner, Keith, and Bernard.
Bernard want to come on. Yeah. There's a cool list, and I'd like to have some of the cooks on. Talk to some of the chefs about how to eat healthy out there, and just
like prepping and all that stuff. Like Jason and what's the other guy?
Jesse and Robin.
Yeah, that would be fun to have them on.
It'd be a blast.
And then maybe we have them give us a specific recipe or something like that.
Whatever Jesse cooks, I eat. Because the stuff that he was making at Expo, I think he called them like depression burgers, like from the Great Depression. It was like all onions and a little burger. And it was like pimp. Like it was so good. But those people would be great because we're launching some of our kitchen line stuff based off of healthy food and like not taking a mountain house out there. Like, don't take, you can cook pizza. Jesse can teach you how to cook pizza out there, but the dude makes a hell of a steak and vegetables. And so we're kind of dabbling in that world, I guess, because it's along the health and wellness side of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody always brings their stuff out in plastic, containers and stuff like that. And the more you're hearing about how much plastic you're getting into your system and all of that stuff. And so we're going with like the
stainless
steel and the glass on the top with the silicone whatever
lids,
rim and stuff like that. I think it's just our little like push for we're gonna try to get you the best stuff that isn't gonna have you eating a credit card basically.
We could probably have Ryan, our marketing director's wife, on here to talk about all crazy different health stuff and
for sure.
But like what you take out, you got to bring back. So it's like, use your trash cans at home. Don't leave stuff out there on the trail. Like that's just as important for all of us.
There's nothing worse than that. Like you driving by campsites and just have shit everywhere, and you're like, really, guys?
Yeah, we're like playing on the strings of like stainless steel, like something our grandpa passed down to us. You know, it's like that kind of. When it's clean. When it's dirty. Hopefully someday like
it's gonna last.
It lasts forever. One of those deals. So what? Yeah. I want to jump on in one more product thing. I know you got a favorite product and it's kind of giving me kudos, so I love it. But like, what's your favorite product coming that we have? Like, what are you most excited about?
Pretty easy in my book. I don't know if this is a little exclusive, but it's the string lights.
Yeah.
With the speakers. I think it's the most versatile product. And what I mean by that, it's the most versatile in the sense that you can use it at your house, in your backyard. You can use it, out camping. You can bring it on the boat. You can do, you can have it anywhere. And
put it in the dugout, play leadoff songs for kids. Those Instagram videos are hilarious when parents play walk-off or walk-up videos for their kids.
Right.
I'm pumped about those products too. It's across the whole spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how in depth we want to go with it before we launch it, telling people, but it will be the best and the only string light you will ever need and you'll ever probably buy again because it's that awesome.
I think it's pretty cool, and I'll throw one plug out there. Like it's gonna sell out. Mm-hmm. It's gonna go fast. I'm pretty sure. So that's one of the really, like I say, Starlink was my coolest purchase of this last year. Right. Kind of like changed my life. And these little things are are pretty cool, and something that we're trying to wrap more than just overlanding. Mm-hmm. We're talking about camping in your backyard, having a backyard barbecue,
right?
Anything.
Perfect for that.
So we're pumped about that. I like the memory foam mattresses. They're super comfortable. But a lot of new stuff.
I think the memory foam is interesting because it's not like, not everybody falls into that category of like, this is how I like to sleep, or this is, we're
not a mattress company.
Yeah, we're not a mattress company. We're trying to give you options, but like I lay it on the thing and I'm like, yeah, this is money.
And it really works well in Evolution. I mean, that's just kind of a disclaimer that Evolution is our flagship product. It's our patented product that we've been going with for a long time. And it really, if you're unsure about which rooftop tent you want to buy and you want to buy once,
buy the most expensive one.
buy the most expensive one. But it really, like, people kind of ask us why we have things priced the way we do. Like, it offers the most versatility. I mean, we've got 6-inch air core coming out for it. Yeah. Memory foam mattress, cloud toppers. You can store it all in there.
All your
and
bedding,
still do it at little over 9 inches.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome
the best.
tent.
It's the best.
And full tri-layer. Right. So we've been having a lot of people praise tri-layer again this year. Mm-hmm. I think more than I've heard is the cold is one thing, and we're going to bust this myth, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have an episode about black tents, temperature,
Mythbusters,
the basics of camping. You know, that'll be fun. But Evo with the wind, you're not getting through tri-layer with the wind, and I think that's one of the awesome things that people are really starting to realize in different parts of the country.
Yeah, I'm actually, there will probably be a coinciding video with that, episode, but I'm pumped for that because I think there's a lot of myths out there with camping that people are like, it kind of makes sense in your brain, but it's not true. Mm-hmm. And we've been doing it long enough and researching it, and done the heat tests and all that stuff where we'll kind of bust the myth, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
we're cool.
We're talking about when the sun goes down.
Right.
Our job is not that overly difficult. I mean, when it gets dark, we take the temperature. Right. When it's light out, you should be doing something else. That is where I kind of stand on it, of like, we're not selling tents for music festivals. Right. We're selling tents that you're out in the mountains or
you can
you're
sleep
having
in,
fun.
But we don't think you should be in your tent all day.
Yeah, I'd read a book somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of think about it. There's more beautiful spots than laying
get some
in your
sun
tent.
and read a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't sit in your tent. That's weird.
That'll be a fun episode. I'm excited to talk about that. Any good comments to close this thing out?
Yeah, thank you.
Address some of that.
All right, so starting with some good comments. We got this gal who got an Odyssey 55. She said, "This is my second year with mine. Love it. No more VRBO. No more Airbnbs. Odyssey 55 for the win." So
I think what she really means is no more bullshit cleaning fees.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or
I leave my Airbnbs are spotless when I leave. Like, they're cleaner than my damn house, and I still get charged $350 for
the one we were in the last time. I mean, the lady had a plethora of like cleaning, and I'm like, this is just so if we don't do this, you're gonna hit us with another charge.
Yeah,
like, cool.
We try not to do that. We think our pricing's pretty fair for the value that you get and everything behind the scenes. But yeah, that's one example of Airbnbs and rooftop tents in the way that let's call it a $4,000 or $5,000 investment into your vehicle, your mode of transportation, getting you to that Airbnb can be the mode of like hanging out and having a really badass experience that maybe you didn't think you could have before.
Right. Well, exactly. Okay, so here's a longer one. We have the Competitors RTT. We got it before Evo V2 came out on my truck, which we love the enormous space of. However, setup and takedown aren't quite as fast as it would seem. Plus, lack of any external mounting points limits build out. However, we got the Evo V2 when it dropped and put it on the wife's 4Runner. Our teenager sleeps in it. FSAR did it right. Very easy setup. Very thoughtful features, ventilation pockets, lighting, etc. Super easy setup, good mattress, tons of mounting points, and very acceptable weight for such a sturdy unit. if we ever buy another RTT, it will definitely be another Evo 2. Oh.
That's awesome. I mean, that's what we think about Evo too. We think it gives everybody a ton of versatility, and like I think it gives you a ton of longevity. Like that's where we're focusing. So like if we're focusing there, new products are coming out for Evolution this year. If we're focusing, like it's not going anywhere. Like,
no, and
that's the tent.
Random thing, but like, you know, a lot of people, we had our old Evos, Evo V1. Exterior is a little bit different, but guess what? If you want the Evo V2 skin, body, you can get it from us.
Yeah.
Like you can take that entire skin out of that old style and you can get the upgrade. You can put the air core in it. You can, you know, or the memory foam or whatever. And I think that that's a really good feature about our tents is we're not like going away from stuff, but we are always going to try to innovate.
Yeah.
But hey, if you want to jump on the innovation train and you need a new skin, here you go.
Well, I think that one interesting, and like that's what when we took over Free Spirit, that was one of the things that was big to us, was being able to replace things.
Yeah.
And I think this year, what's interesting about 2024 is that the economy's not doing as hot. And I think more people are like utilizing the rooftop tents that they have. And, you know, there's all the new customers out there, but we're getting more of an influx of people that are starting to replace products from 17, 18, 19, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting, you know, bogged down with that. So if something's not available, it's just kind of a year that caught us by surprise on the amount of replacement parts that people were going to buy. And it's just going to take us a little time to catch up and get back to full strength on that. But that is the fundamental premise really at Free Spirit, is like, and especially with Evo.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing now is the white Evo skin is available for the Evo V1 customer that bought at the very beginning, and air core is available and memory foam's available. So it's like not another $4,000 purchase.
Yeah, no, you can upgrade for a fraction of that.
Yep.
All right. Bad and funny comment. We will need free shipping plus 50% off to think about it, because it costs more than our bed we sleep in every night, and we only sleep in 3 to 4 nights a year in the tent. What's your thoughts? 3 to 4 nights a year is it's probably not for you. 3 to 4 nights a year. I mean,
that's not enough in my book to just justify the investment. And
it's probably like more like the Epic Pass, where it's like 5 to 7 versus an Airbnb or something. But,
I would say that we could throw out like average numbers. Well, let's just say $200 a night.
Right.
You're talking about 10 nights in a hotel, $2,000.
Yeah.
It's, that's probably a decent amount of nights in a hotel for some people, but for other people,
like, if you got kids and stuff like that too, I mean, $200 a night was, and another one, you're getting up there quick. And I think people, it's always, sure, go on the vacation that your kids want to go to Disneyland super bad, but also remember that trip is going to cost you
10 at least.
Exactly. Yeah.
At least. I mean, flights are getting crazy, travel nightmares.
Right.
I mean, you know me, I drive everywhere that I can to avoid getting on a plane, because it's not that I don't like planes. It's like if I got to go get there 2 hours before, sit on the tarmac for 2 hours because there's not enough gates. It's like I could have just drove there, Right.
So that's why I drive to Colorado.
I don't know. I take a couple things out of that. Like I don't think the person sees the value in what they're getting, because they don't necessarily do it enough. Because like we're not your bed at home. Like I know we're not, but like I don't use my golf clubs every single day of the year, and they were way more expensive than our rooftop tents.
Right.
And I get to use them accordingly, but or like my hunting equipment, I only get to use it certain time out of the year. But like when it's that time, I use it, and that investment to me is so uniquely like individual that I can do whatever I want. And like I don't have to call for reservations. I I pull off in a dispersed camping zone under the stars, and like I don't even care what Betty's doing at the front of the 24-hour motel.
Right.
I'm chilling.
Right.
You know, I'm ready to go.
Well, and if you're talking like 3 to 4 nights here. You're talking a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you go camping one weekend a year, go on whatever that site is where you can rent camping equipment.
Yeah.
Sure, that's probably your MO. But I bet you go out there for those 3 nights and you wish you could go out more.
I wouldn't buy a tent from REI to sleep on the ground if I was going out 3 nights a year.
Right.
That's honestly what I would think.
I agree.
It's not worth any money that you spend at that point because you need it all. Like,
right.
Not only you need a tent, but like you got to think about like, if I'm going to go out there, I'm going to cook something. Well, cooking stuff isn't overly expensive, but like you don't need much more than a place to sleep and 2 chairs.
Yeah.
And a full tank of gas.
Right. No, for sure. I mean, with anything, any hobby or whatever, it's you got to invest in the stuff. I mean, you're talking about like golf clubs, or you talk about, hunting gear. It's like, yeah, it's not just going to be the tent, but like if you want to do this and you do enjoy it, this is a very good, economical, comfortable, whatever. You kind of got to just justify it in your own mind and realize that, yeah, if you're doing it 3 to 4 nights a year, I'd probably point you in a different direction.
Yeah. I mean, you could justify it too. I mean, we had a dude pull in here the other day with a tent from 2015. That was 9 years ago. So there's 27 nights for the dude times.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's going to last you that long.
Well, that's
Take care
a good
of
point. Yeah. All right. So we had this 180 awning photo that we had taken for marketing, and it was a little bit of an optical illusion. And so we had a bunch of funny comments on it. One was, optical illusions are crazy. I could not figure out why there was a tent on top of this awning, but it's the last section of the awning. And then this guy said, this took me a good minute, but I see it now. Totally thought this was a freestanding tent. And then the last guy,
we already tried that business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. I had to question if I had mistakenly had edibles today or not.
Welcome to Colorado.
That was a good one. That guy might have been from Colorado. But yeah, no, those are just some funny ones. But I think, we've been going on a little bit, probably over an hour. But what I don't know. What do we want to conclude with? Anything?
Not that I take joy in the funny comments. I take joy in like the people that are upset because look, we get it. Like, and that's kind of one of there's one thing that's out of our control. We are who we are. Hopefully you guys get to learn that through this process, just like who you and I are.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fool anybody. We're not trying to put alternative ship dates out. We're not trying to screw you on a pre-sale. We're honestly trying to do our best, and some of it is totally out of our control. And that's kind of where I would end some of that. It is what it is. But we love all the comments. It makes us better, and we try.
We love, and we read them all, and we like, the nice comments we appreciate, kind of gives me a little bit of a second wind, especially in this chaotic middle of the summertime and stuff like that. So we appreciate it, and we even appreciate the bad ones because sometimes we listen if they're not totally stupid.
Yeah. I mean, you asked, we listened last time we did that. So yeah, we're always listening. We're in this to fuel people's adventures with their family to create those long-lasting memories. To our core, that's why we're in it.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd be playing golf and you'd be probably doing UFC, but like it just didn't work out that way.
Right. All right. Cool. Well, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys.